I'm telling you, man, the days keep going on and it keeps feeling like forever. We're still a couple of days away from the full launch of Call of Duty World War II, but that said, we are still so incredibly close. It's one of those things where we have to kind of balance how long it is and really how close we are. It's just weird that we're in that kind of purgatory where we have to see these sorts of things that we're talking about today come out and we ourselves can't access them just yet. But that said, in this one, we'll be taking a look at a couple of things that have come out today specifically because for those of you guys that may not have seen it, servers actually went live on Call of Duty World War II today. That was something that if you do have a physical copy, previously there were some run-ins with an actual physical lockout that Call of Duty had in place on World War II in which you could not get past the main menu that simply said COD World War II, but then you ended up being able to get on the offline modes, and now today, servers open for stress testing and everything like that are now open to the general public. So while everybody that may not have a physical copy just yet, whether it be a digital version preloaded on your console or you're going to a midnight release or picking it up sometime thereafter, unfortunately, if you fall in one of those categories, you're not able to play the game as of yet. But for some people that were lucky enough or that had the money to drop on the game to get it a few days early in physical format, servers were turned on, players could access the online versions, and there is a ton of stuff that we have available to us now. So once again, as with all these other things that we've kind of been doing as of recently, I'm not gonna give too much in specific detail stuff, just out of respect for those that want to have the game as sort of a fresh approach going into the game and its launch this Friday. But I'm also gonna be telling you guys enough that it gets the point across. Some of this stuff here will be a little vague, some more specific than others, but nonetheless, in this one specifically, I wanna talk about 9 things that I picked up and that I think I can talk about to all of you guys that came out of today specifically. Some new information, some confirmed stuff, some really cool things I think, but nonetheless, we're gonna get right into it. So first and foremost, I wanna talk about something that I've been asked a lot on Twitter and comments, everything like that, and that pertaining to a certain score streak that was left out, or I guess in this case, probably a kill streak, that being the air quote nuke, the V2 rocket that we've seen teased in the game code, or I guess leaked out of the game code, but not really given any official details here and there anywhere else out of that. So that was something that was theorized to be that nuke, but as it stands right now, there is still nothing regarding a secret 25, 30 kill streak, gun streak, whatever it may be. Nothing like that is in there just yet, though it is still possible that a day one update will be coming and adding that sort of thing in. Though on that same token, that day one update probably won't be adding in the maps, which is kind of a bummer, but we saw a teaser for DLC 1, which did showcase some of what we saw in the game code from the beta that we thought was going to be something of a standard map set that included those maps in the launch of the game. So right now it stands with 9 and 10 if you have the season pass with Carrington. Seems a bit low for those map numbers, maybe a little too low, but I guess I'm on the fence here at this one. I'd love to get your thoughts down in the comment section down below. But the next thing I want to talk about deals with collections, because these are actually back from the Modern Warfare Remastered system, and I'm actually a fan of this. While some people might not necessarily be too into it, and I heard some actually good arguments that it does kind of take away from the grinding factor of the game, I like it because it's more focused. You have the chance to actually get more of what you want, not necessarily just play on that RNG luck and anything like that. So I'm a fan that they are returning, but it's going to allow players to go for certain weapons, certain variants, and all that kind of stuff, which right now it is only variants, but we probably can guess that full-fledged DLC will be coming back into the game at some point. So once that Black Ops 3 mentality comes back and we start getting full DLC weapons, it's gonna be nice to be able to just pick and choose which ones and kind of just chip away at certain specific weapons rather than rely on super RNG luck. And speaking of supply drops, in the headquarters, it's actually a cool new way to open a drop. That's something that is completely changed around from what we saw previously. We'd go to, say, a quartermaster, the black market, whatever it may be in the past couple of games, and we'd open up supply drops from there. Although, in this version now, within Call of Duty World War II, you can go into the headquarters and you actually can choose where you open this up. You actually have like a care package marker and you mark the DZ and it opens right in front of everyone. It's actually a really cool animation, looks very fluid, very innovative in how this is approached, and I'm excited to see how well this is received by the community. I think it's a cool little way to shake up what we know and make it more of a communal thing and something that isn't so separated from the gaming experience within this. It's just something cool you'll be able to watch. Very similar to, though I think better done because it's a visual representation of it even, in CSGO, if somebody opens up a case within the lobby, it says in the feed what somebody got. So instead of it just saying, you can physically watch somebody open it, which is really cool. Now, one thing that I will say though is apparently you can get XP from opening drops, which is an interesting little twist and kind of odd. I'm not sure how to feel about it. It's not much, but still just XP for drops is kind of odd to me. But that's gonna move me over into my next thing I wanna talk about, that being basic trainings. Firstly, we saw out of the beta code leaks that there were going to be 37, but right now, from what I've seen, there are not 37 in there, but maybe with Division Prestige, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But the menu that you can see from the initial launch, there showcases 21 basic trainings, but perhaps there's more at higher levels, whether or not it's something that you unlock more as the game goes on, and 21's the base. But it seems like there might be actually division rewards, because there's a prompt that says reach the Prestige Division to access unique weapons, basic training, uniforms, and more. Now, this, bear in mind, is still in German, but what's intriguing to me is that it mentions a Prestige Division. So whether or not that's just the literal translation being a little bit of a curveball, like some languages do have those barriers in which it doesn't make definitive sense in the comparison between the two, it also could be something that points to maybe prestiging all 5 divisions at once, which, I don't know, that's interesting, but it's something to keep in mind and maybe keep in the back of your head. But one thing that I did see talked about a little bit, and one thing that some people think will happen, though it's not confirmed, is that maybe each division prestige lets you take another one, or maybe every 2 division prestiges so that you can end up getting, say, 3 basic trainings at the very end. That'd be interesting to factor in there, but it's neither confirmed nor denied, so it's just a theory at this point, but it's one that I thought was kind of cool. Next up I want to discuss is variants, because right now this is something that will be a hot topic for a lot of people. They want to know, is there stat changing stuff? Is there something that they should totally worry about? Is there something that they should go for immediately? And to that I say, not really. It's all simply cosmetic, but some of them do look really cool. Now, I won't say that there isn't a reason to try and get these, because while there might not be variants here that alter stats and everything like that, I have seen a few with slight XP bonuses for using them. So very similar to what Infinite Warfare had, but they're also tying it in with the collection system like we already mentioned. So it's something in which you can go for them, and actually it might not take as long as you think to get them, but it's not anything that's going to give you an in-gun fight advantage or anything like that, just something that might reward you a little bit more over time for using that weapon. Next up is ranked play, because this is something that I personally care about. You guys might not really all that much. I still very much so miss the Black Ops 2 days in which I could grind out League play. I played League play for months on end. That was after prestiging or getting to max prestige about maybe 2-3 months into Black Ops 2. I played that out until probably August from then, just on League play. So ranked play, I'm excited to see come back, and I'm really hoping it's done incredibly well, but it's gonna take the approach of seasons, and the first one is going to start on the 1st of December apparently, which is gonna be really cool. I think that's gonna be nice to see, and hopefully it's something that brings back the competitive nature, breeds those competitive players and mindsets, but also keeps the game casual enough for anybody that just wants to play a team deathmatch, a domination, a hard point, whatever it may be. Camos are one thing that we ended up getting a little bit of information on too as well here within this. We got a first look at Diamond Camo. I'm not gonna put any of this stuff on screen. I'm sure you probably could tell by now at this point, but we got our look at Diamond. That's the same thing that's been the past couple of years. It's all classification based, so complete all your SMGs, all your rifles, all your snipers, all your shotguns, that kind of stuff to be able to complete Diamond for each weapon in there. Now, of course, there's probably gonna be something that is a Dark Matter, Black Sky, Exclusion Zone type of camo, just because they've become so popular in the past couple of years and people love to grind them out, but they did a nice job here at this one where it's not viewable up until you actually go to unlock it. So it's actually gonna be a grind to see who can get it first, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, one thing, talking a little bit about weaponry, is that there's actually a prestige for each weapon once again, as we saw with them, say, Black Ops 3, and you can actually get the kill counter and the clan tag back once again from what I've seen as well too, which is gonna be really cool. I really enjoyed that stat track counter. But nonetheless, the final thing that I want to talk about, and this is probably a very brief one for what we may have information on and everything like that, and some of you guys might not care all that much about it, but leaderboards are score-based overall, and I think that's something that is great. It's going to allow the leaderboard grinders to be able to end up taking a look at this and going for this over time, not having to consistently have that like 700 score per minute or whatever that it's based on in recent games. So It's interesting, but nonetheless, that's gonna conclude this one here with this. So once again, there's probably a ton of other things I could have mentioned here, but I wanted to mention some of the stuff that I know that you guys have mentioned in comments, that have been tweeted, all that kind of stuff, and some things that I just generally found interesting and wanted to relate to you guys. But nonetheless, that's what we're gonna wrap it up here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Stick in there because we are only a few days away. Unfortunately, some people do have access to the game already, to the full entirety of it, but again, unfortunately, that's just how every single year goes. So I'm in there with you guys. We don't have the game just yet, but we're so close. So that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully you guys are hyped, and if you guys are, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Call of Duty World War II. A couple of days left. We're gonna be killing with the content, going into it, and of course, coming out of it as well too. I can't wait to give you guys all the content that I have planned. So if you guys are interested in any of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a beat. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care. I can't wait for COD World War II, and peace.